How on earth do you know when to sell? I'm going to cover that and uncover it in decent detail. So watch this video and watch on 2x speed if you need to. I don't mind. Just this information I think is exceptionally vital. What I'm looking at here is a market cap USDT dominance. So USDT, it's the biggest stablecoin. There's the most amount of it. And if you factor in the entirety of the crypto market cap, so $2 trillion, there's a percentage, and this percentage of the USD market cap, as it gets more and more of the total market cap, then obviously people are stabling up hard. So there's different theories out there, but as it gets like all the way up here, you know, like it's bear market. Jason Bazzino says something along like, this point is where he thinks it's all over, it's bear market. But the point is, the lower the number, the more that's flowing into our risky assets, Bitcoin. The higher the number, the more people have cashed out. And I'm referring to particularly institutions, exchanges, and whales. So this is a trend line which is now possible due to having more data points. And these data points, we didn't have them all in the past. We probably could have, at this point, created this trend line though. This trend line essentially indicates, because the market cap of USDT does increase, but as we get closer, that's a time to sell. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice, it never will be, but this is proper alpha, like proper alpha. That's why I'm taking a little bit of a breather for a day from DeFi and showing you this. So when it drops down low, you can see this is a high. This is an all-time high for Bitcoin. Bitcoin all-time high typically means alts will have their fun as well. Here, then we can see it comes up, and the price has gone from like 65K down to 30K. It's halved. The price halved, and then did another run up to this was the all-time high. So as it comes up, you could DCA in here. As it goes down, DCA out, selling, buy, sell. The last cycle was easier. I didn't do amazingly well because it was only my second cycle, but it was far easier. We can see all the way back here, dominance dropped significantly in 2018, and there's our peak. And this data points, it's very accurate. Here, it touches the trend line, which it would have established a trend line. We wouldn't have had this information back then, but we see that peak. We see that peak. And then things continue up, up. It's all very visible in the data with Bitcoin's price. And then we start to move well away from this trend line, which means we buy, we're bear market, we DCA, we buy a little bit per week or whatever. And then here we're just buying. At the end of the day, like, do you really care if you're buying at like, what is this low price? Like 15K, and if you can sell it at 70 or 80 or 100? I personally don't. Even though I'm far more in Solana, like significantly more in Solana. But this shows us everything. Then at this point, we start to see, even though the price has been gradually climbing, we see it quickly start to lose its dominance here, which means the dominance of Bitcoin price, it heats up and it grows. And then at this point here, this is a pretty close point to the trend line. We could have taken some profits here. And then we bounce up again. Price goes down a little bit from here to here, which is still decent, goes up, and it comes on down. It touches the trend line. It's a perfect profit-taking scenario. I'll remove myself so it's a little bit easier. Apologies. Now, as we start to come on down here, we can come on down, and that could be a great indicator of a time to sell some. You don't have to sell it all, but it seems to follow this. It follows it and it does it well. And we can see the same thing happening with USDC and USDT on the same chart. It works exactly the same. We just don't have data that goes back as far, but we go back to this point here. So we come here and then come here. Nice time to sell, take some profits. Here we come on back down, sell, take some profits, DCA, DCA, DCA. and then we've come up. It could be time that you want to buy some as well. But as we approach here, we could sell. Now, I have no idea how many times we're going to come up and go back down this cycle. There are people calling for it like to happen one more time. I doubt that's going to be the case. I don't think the whales that essentially control things based on the general macro news, the macro cycle, I don't think they want just one more time because they can't extract as much. And if there's not enough gains to be made by those hustling, even when they make mistakes, they're just going to give up. So the whales have to protect the shrimp out there, even though they eat the shrimp. It's one of those situations that I believe is the case. And I've got a different theory on this, which I'm pretty damn sure is accurate. I can share it in another video if you let me know. So if you couple this data, right? If you couple this data here with the Katoshi settings, which work really, really well, just as a reminder, when it goes green, you buy. When it goes red, you sell. You can even short it. We've done a dedicated video on it, done a podcast with him on it as well. Link in below. You can also track your MACD and also your RSI. But with these, you'd probably want to look at a 1 day time frame as well as just a 2 hour. Right now, indicators are looking very good, and we're in the time just to go crazy. Some people are calling for us to hit 170 soon. I think we could go even more, but I'll tell you one second. Same thing here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin went green, you enter. Bitcoin is not as volatile, so you won't make as many gains. But if we have a look at this here, like that's up 7%. That is decent. And we can use the information that we already have with the dominance to check and see if this could be the time when we want to enter as well. The reason why I think the market's going to go a little bit crazy, and of course, just keep in mind, nothing is financial advice. This is an opinion. It's based on other people's research, my experience, and you can use it as part of your formation of ideas. You need to profit in this cycle. You need to profit regardless. And I hope you stick around for the bear market. But let's just go to the points that I think are required. Trump is talking about lowering tariffs now. I think, he made a lot of mistakes. The administration has made a lot of mistakes. I guess their goal was go in, guns blazing, and then get an effect and then start to negotiate from there. But more on tariffs in another video. The macro news looks good. If you follow Roll Paul, Real Vision, you can see there's a huge amount of M2 liquidity, and Bitcoin follows that. Bitcoin goes up, your good assets go up. Even ETH is going to go up, even though it's going through a midlife crisis right now. But Sol, Sui, I think these are going to outperform really, really well. In addition to that, maybe even Bonk, Farcoin, those kind of things. I'm not shilling anything. Pingu. These are things that I like. Pingu's a little bit, hasn't been underperforming, but I'm going off on a tangent. Back to the point. So we've got the macro looks good. And then we have Token 2049 in Dubai. We've got the staking summit in Dubai, which is more niche, of course. Then we've got Sui Basecamp. We've got Solana Economic Zone happening right now in Dubai. It's far smaller, but it gets positive news. We've got Fogo, which is a layer 1 built on the Solana virtual machine technology. In testnet phase, that's going to be even faster than Solana. And fast enough to compete with traditional finance. Things are looking properly up and up and up. And in this next few weeks, there's so much bullish crypto news that I think the market's kind of lift up. So I'm going to be looking at these indicators. I'm thinking about putting on some longs, and I'm going to be looking at that dominance. And with other TA, of course, if that starts to break down, let me refresh your memory one more time. If it starts to break down the dominance and hit this level, I will be looking to definitely take some profits. Thus far, it's come up. Yes, we can see that. Yes, it's come on down, but we're still significantly far away from it, in my opinion. They're my thoughts. Let me know yours. If you completely disagree. If you agree. Just let me know your thoughts. I'm keen. We want to make it in this bull cycle, and I want us to survive in the bear cycle. So that's all for this video. Subscribe, check out these 2 videos, and I'll see you in the next one.